Hi everyone, welcome to Advice to Think Twice and welcome to your next 48-hour reading. Hope you're doing well. Let's see what's going on for you in the next 48 hours. Give or take a day or so. Whenever you come across this message, hopefully it assists, it helps. Alright, so let's see what's going on for my subscribers in the next 48 hours. What can they expect? And as always, feel free to check out any other video on the channel that you feel drawn to. If it stands out to you, you could have messages there. So let's see. And thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, and for subscribing. All right. And I want to say a special thank you to those of you who've been with me for a while or all the way from the beginning. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your continued support and your loyalty. It means a lot. It really does. All right, bottom of the deck is the overall energy. We have the King of Pentacles. So this is good, okay? This is, it talks about success, completion. This will focus eventually. There we go. It could be payday for some of you. It could be receiving a large sum of money. If it's a loan, if it's mortgage going through, even if it doesn't come to your personal account, right? But the money is coming through. You're able to purchase what you're trying to purchase, right? It could be leases being signed and agreed, right? For if it's house, if it's car, if it's anything expensive. And earth signs could be significant in the next 48 hours. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, wherever you or they have that in their chart. All right, so let's see what we have here. We have the High Priestess and the Star. So for some of you, something that you've been secretly wishing for is coming true. We have Aquarius energy here. For those of you, there's, I feel like there's someone making contact after a period of no contact. So if you've gone quiet on someone, especially if you're the one that usually would reach out whenever there's a tiff or an argument or whatever, you would be the first to reach out. You would be, you know, the one to be the bigger person, whatever it is. And this time you haven't done that. I do feel like that other person will be reaching out and kind of breaking the stalemate, the impasse, the no contact. For others of you here, there's some sort of wish come true. Now, it could be to do with study, education. It could be to do with your spirituality. For others of you, this is having some sort of epiphany, realization. Okay. And for some, there is something, a wish come true for you, and you're keeping it quiet for now. So, for example, it could be a pregnancy, and you're not telling people until you feel safe to do so, or even until you go past the first trimester, or stuff like that. Or you get a job, but it's like, don't tell anyone until it's a done deal. Or you get some sort of wish come true, and it's almost like, I don't want to talk about it until it's official. Everything's been covered, everything's been signed, or whatever. Because I don't want to jinx it, but still, you have celebration here. And for some of you, there's an important contract that you're signing here, and there is a confidentiality clause, or it could even be an NDA that is being signed, a non-disclosure agreement that is being signed at this time, okay? All right, let's see. We have the Knight of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. So for some of you, I feel like there's going to be a temptation for you to spend money. When you're trying to be good, or when you're trying to save money, or when you're trying to put money aside, there's going to be a temptation to spend money. Now, for some of you, this can be a date, you know, or, you know, you ask someone out and surprisingly, surprisingly, they say yes. And it's like, well, right, I'm going to have to spend some money to impress this person, right? Or, because it's someone you do like. Otherwise, why would you be asking them out? For others of you, this is someone asking you out, and it's like, okay, well, I didn't expect that, but I'll get myself dressed and nice and ready and suited and booted, right? Something like that. For others of you, there's some sort of invitation to a gathering or a social event or doing something fun, and there's a temptation to go over budget, okay? You could also find something that you've been looking for in terms of if you've been decorating or anything like that, right? Again, the temptation is it's over budget. Say you told yourself, I'm not paying any more than $20 for this thing if I find it, right? And if it's exactly what I want, then I'll go up to $20. And you find it and it's like $30, right? So you're like, well, I see that negotiation of, it's not that far off the mark, but it's still over budget. So do I want to do this? For others of you, I feel like you may be turning someone down because either you're preserving your energy, um, or you're holding on to your money, you're holding on to your resources, you are very careful with your time and what you spend it on. And with the Knight of Cups, this is something that it's fun, but you would see it as maybe indulgent or frivolous, right? And it's like, I'm not about that, at least not in the next 48 hours. I also feel like for some of you, you may have to bail someone out, whether that's literal or metaphorical. Or you may have to pay something for someone. So you may have to pay their bill because they forgot to pay their bill. And it's like, well, can't really be having you in that house without light or without power, right? Or heating, right? Or something like that. But for some of you, I do see someone could have been overindulging, drinking too much, that sort of thing, and they get taken into custody or something, and you have to go literally bail them out, or something like that is what I'm seeing, which is interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, we have the 10 of Cups and the 7 of Cups in the center of your spread, so this is very positive. This is good. Okay, this is happily ever after energy. Again, I see this energy of like shielding, protecting something, guarding it, not talking about it, not telling people. Now, for some of you, you're going to see a post. Someone's posting about a wedding. Someone's posting about a pregnancy. Someone's posting about some sort of happy event in their life, and you're going to be seeing this online. For others of you, you could be doing that. I do want to say just be careful what you're posting. Don't put your business out there at this time, especially with the High Priestess in your reading. I don't know if you have someone that's kind of following on social media. I don't know if you have someone that's a bit of a stalker. I don't know if you have people who just don't mean well and they don't need to know your stuff. There's a guidance here, at least in the next 48 hours, and especially with happy events in your life, not to post, not to tell people about it, not to brag about it, even though that's not the intention. For some people, that's how it's going to come across. You may be accused of bragging. I just feel like for some of you, you may be dealing with someone who's got a bit of a drinking problem, or they take things, smoke things, I don't know, to escape reality, escape their own reality. And they do come off as very bitter, very jealous. And whatever you tell this person in terms of good things that are happening to you, they take it as a personal affront, right? They're like, so I've got this going on, and you're going to tell me about your happy stuff, something like that. And you just don't need to be around this person. You don't need to tell this person what's up, because they're choosing to be bitter. I don't know who this is, but protect yourself against this person. If someone can't be happy for you and good things happen to you, then they're not your people. Sorry, I don't know who they are in your life, but they're not your people. For those of you, I see you house hunting, so you're going to viewings of property or cars or stuff you want to buy, right? Furniture, I don't know, and you're going to look at it in the store. You could be looking at something, buying something online, and then going to collect it from the shop or something like that as well. For some of you, I'm seeing, I don't know if it's like a marathon of movies that you're doing, but you could be doing a marathon of comedies, or a marathon of romantic movies or classic movies, or a marathon of scary movies. I don't know, but I'm seeing like a marathon type of energy. You could just be watching 2, 3 movies one after the other. That maybe, I don't know if that's classed as a marathon, but it could be that all the way from that to 2 days of watching movies. I don't know. There's also some sort of invitation from afar or news of a happy family event, with this energy. And for some of you, I'm seeing you meeting someone's family, but you could be doing it online. So maybe they're in a different state, or their family's in a different state, or whatever. So you're having an introduction to the family, but it's online. So there's that. We have the Three of Cups and the Strength card. Leo energy could be significant for some of you. There's celebration. With the Three of Cups, absolutely. I feel like for some of you, someone is kind of forcing you to go out. I don't know if someone's just showing up at your door and it's like, get dressed, we're going out. I'm not taking no for an answer. It feels like friends or family members, right? Someone who's just trying to snap you out of a bad mood, snap you out of a funk, just remind yourself what it's like to have some fun for a change. Okay, it could be that. For others of you, I feel like someone's really not taking no for an answer. They may be asking you out on a date. Or this could even be your partner just telling you, we haven't been out on a date in ages. We're doing it. Or for some of you, someone's telling you, I've booked this for us. It's happening, right? So it's almost like they're not really asking you or giving you a choice. Obviously, you can still say no. But I feel like whatever they have booked or planned is going to be very tempting. It'll sound great, or they've already paid for it, or something like that. And it might do you some good to just go out and have some fun for a change, okay? Especially if you have been dealing with a lot lately, and who hasn't, right? You could be going on a date. For some of you, either you're going on a date in like a public place, so a restaurant, whatever. But for others of you, you're going on a date with someone who is very well known in the community / famous, okay? And if it's not a date, you're spending time with them, you're seen out and about with them, okay? For some, you could be making a new friend at this time, and it's someone very well known or very influential, very powerful. You're also celebrating some sort of health goal or weight goal with this. And there's also an energy of return or reunion. So if you have been traveling, you're now going back home, right? There's a bit of a welcome party. If you, or someone else, put the roles where they go. If you've been out of work for a while, whether it's, off sick or maternity, or you took a sabbatical or whatever, this is where you're returning to work. There's, again, people welcoming you with this energy. For some, if you've been out of work, this could be the wish fulfillment that's coming in for you. For some, I feel like you're either going to be, if it's a new job, it's either with someone you've worked with before, a person you've worked with before, you working for someone you've worked for before, or returning to a company you've worked for before, or returning to an industry you've worked in before. There's a familiarity to something new that you're doing, if that makes sense. Also, friends or family members could put you on the right track, whether that means introduce you to someone, refer you somewhere, put your name forward for something, and it opens doors for you, or introduce you to someone in terms of maybe the new friend you're making, or the new collaborator, or even a new romantic interest, okay? You could be set up at this time if you're open to that, okay? And for some, you could be, I'm seeing either a fast or going on some sort of diet, but I'm seeing more like a fast or a juice. Is it a juice fast or juice cleanse or something like that is what I'm seeing? Or you're incorporating either more liquids into your diet, or smoothies, or natural juice, or something like that is what I'm seeing. And then we have the Ten of Swords with the wheel, 2 tens. All right. So in the next 48 hours, there's some sort of big change happening that is finally closing the door on a very difficult chapter in your life, okay? If it's a health issue, this is where you're getting the clear, the green light, the clean slate, the clear bill of health, okay? Maybe that's why you're celebrating with the Three of Cups and the Strength card here as well. If you've had to slow down and pace yourself after some sort of procedure, or after some sort of health issue, whatever it is, right? and you've had to be very careful with how much you do, how fast you do things, how much you lift, how much, that sort of thing. This is where you're told you no longer have to do that. You don't have to pace yourself anymore. You don't have to be careful like that anymore. If there have been dietary restrictions, those could be being lifted at this time as well. It's very positive news. And for others, this has to do with jobs. Okay, you getting a job, and it's the end of that very challenging period in your life of applying and getting rejected over and over and over again, and that's just not pleasant. It's a horrible, horrible part of life, but it's going to be coming to an end finally, okay? There's some sort of big change that's happening with that, and it's putting an end to that difficult time. If you've been, I also feel like if a relationship has been on the rocks, you could finally overcome that. You're coming into a better place. You're coming into a more stable place within that relationship. It could be with the help of friends or family, or with the help of a counselor or therapist as well. And it feels like things can be turned around. Something that was on the brink of breakup or on the brink of divorce, it looks like there's a very positive shift and a turnaround, a recommitment with that situation, okay? Yeah, whatever the reason was, for some of you, it would have been someone's addictions. For others, it would have been someone's controlling nature, or deep insecurities, possessiveness, jealousy that comes from those deep insecurities, right? And it just pushed the relationship to the brink. And it looks like whatever work has been put into this, it's working. Okay, there's going to be a turnaround in that situation, much healthier decisions made and recommitments happening at this time. And for those of you where you've been working on yourself to heal after maybe a series of bad relationships, or a series of bad investments, or a series of challenges, loss, whatever, and you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, whether that is mentally, physically, emotionally, with therapy, or with self-help of any kind, okay? There is some sort of either review period this week, or assessment in the next 48 hours, or actual tests being performed, or checks being performed, where you're told your work is paying off, basically. Or you could wake up one morning and just feel like a weight has been lifted off of you. You feel different. You feel like you can breathe again. You're happy. You're joyful. You want to go out. Okay, if you've been in hermit mode through that period of working on yourself, now you feel like, okay, I want to go out. I'm ready to take some chances. I'm ready to try some new things in my life, right? It's a really beautiful energy here. And for some, you could also be meeting new people. Again, if it's romantically, if it's in terms of friendships, community, you could be joining a new team, a new group, association, membership, a new gym. And that's just the beginning of a series of positive changes in your life. Okay? It's really, really nice. And whatever has been stuck, blocked, no matter what you did, it wasn't going anywhere, right? And you kept trying to push the needle, it wasn't happening. Looking for a job, not happening. Looking to meet people and find that relationship that you can invest in, not happening. Looking to start your own business, trying to get that off the ground, trying to get it to a point where you can live off of that, and it's just not been happening, right? Things crumbling, things falling apart, things getting declined, rejected, whatever it is. That's where you're going to be experiencing this shift, okay? Where there's going to be some sort of huge breakthrough, a lucky break, okay, with this energy. So that's quite positive, all right? So that's what I'm seeing for us in the next 48 hours. Keep me posted. Let me know how the messages resonate for you if they do. It's really beautiful, so I'm looking forward to your comments as always, okay? So thank you for the love and support. Have a wonderful couple of days ahead, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.